I do know that we're ready to welcome schools back. We've learned so much over the past 2 years about how to operate schools under difficult conditions. What keeps me up at night, I think probably resounds for all of us, is that we're continuing to watch. COVID isn't over. We know that we have to be ready, but we also know that we need our kids in school, and we're ready and prepared to welcome them back.
I saw that you mentioned that you brought on over 200 teachers to start the new school year. I wanted to ask how many teacher vacancies are still open at this point?
Sure. Yes, we have hired nearly 200 teachers since June 28th, and vacancies are a moving target. Since we've been here, we're hiring teachers. We do have 37 teacher vacancies as of this week. But it's important to remember that we've been through this, right? I think during the Omicron period, we had to do coverage, we had to leverage our licensed staff. We have substitutes, retirees, and other licensed central office staff who are ready to stand in if needed as we start the school year.
Not about teacher vacancies, but bus driver vacancies. Where are we on that? And I know you all are continuing the partnership with Guilford or Greensboro Transportation, High Point. Do we foresee that students are going to need to use that, or is it just kind of be given an option?
During the summer, you just heard that our transportation office was able to do some optimizing of bus routes, which will certainly help address the ridership and address bus driver shortages. We currently have enough drivers to provide transportation to all students who have requested it. It's important to keep in mind that some of our bus drivers will still be running double routes. The partnership with the Greensboro and High Point Transit Authorities is an option. It's an option for our students if they want to use that. Many students found that to be an efficient way to get to school, but it is just that, an option. Currently, there's 53 driver vacancies, but that's out of 405 positions. It's also important to put this up against what we experienced last year. So you'll remember, I think, in December and January at the peak of Omicron, we had to suspend the transportation for some of our high schools. That was because we had nearly 1/3 of our drivers who were out due to COVID or other illnesses and vacancies. We're in a much better place now.
Continuing on just the school safety conversation, there are other districts and counties in our area that have pushed really hard to get a school resource officer in every single school as one of those pieces of added extra layer of security. I haven't heard about any of those conversations yet in Guilford County, but I wanted to ask your thoughts on that, Dr. Oakley, or is that something that is happening in conversations behind the scenes here?
Yeah, we followed the data around that. We presented on it at the last board meeting. I think we looked at the percentage of incidents that happen in our middle and high schools get us into the 99% range. We know that the training at the elementary school level and the new buildings that will have vestibules and things of that nature is the best route we can go with elementary schools. Having a police presence in elementary schools, there's just not data to support that that's effective.
You spoke about the mental health aspect and how there were a few more people within each school that were trained in specifics of suicide prevention and that kind of thing. I wonder if you could talk a little bit more about maybe the resources available and that emphasis on mental health. We're seeing it become more of a problem in kids younger and younger. Maybe just easing parents' minds that there is someone inside of every school that's on their kids' side. If you could speak to that.
Absolutely. It's not unlike school safety that the relationships with the adults is critically important in addressing mental health needs. We do have more staff that have had more training around how to recognize and identify a potential mental health issue. We're also making sure that we inform parents. Our school counselors are there and trained. Our school psychologists are mental health professionals and that are there and trained. And it's going to take all of us, right? We have to make sure that we have those relationships and that students feel comfortable sharing when they have a concern.